Most people mislabel one of the common struggles in life. They call it laziness. They call it lack of self-discipline. They even call it procrastination. But in many cases, that's not what really happening. What looks like doing nothing is often a mind that is doing too much at once. Too many thoughts, too many responsibilities, too many expectations. And when the mind reaches that point, action doesn't feel natural anymore. It feels blocked. Hey, I'm Rosetta. Welcome back. This channel is about self-awareness, mindset, habits, and understanding why we struggle the way we do so we can actually change it without consistently blaming ourselves. And today we are talking about something very important: the difference between laziness and overwhelm. Because confusing the two can change how you see yourself in a very negative way. Let's jump right in. For a long time, I used to describe myself as being lazy. If I didn't complete everything on my list, I would definitely assume something was definitely wrong with me. I would think I don't just have discipline. I need to push harder. Other people are more productive than me. And slowly, that label started to stick. Because once you say something about yourself enough times, it starts to feel like an identity. But what I didn't understand back then was this: I wasn't actually avoiding responsibility. I was mentally overloaded. There's difference between not caring and not being able to process everything at once. But when you don't understand that difference, you start blaming your personality instead of your situation. And that's where things start to get heavy emotionally. Because now it isn't just about what you didn't do. It becomes about who you think you are. Part 2. What overwhelm actually looks like. Overwhelm doesn't always look obvious. It's not always stress or panic or visible burnout. Most of the time, it looks very normal from the outside. You sit down to do something and your mind feels scattered. You open your phone for a quick break because even thinking about tasks feels heavy. You look at your responsibilities and don't even know where to start from. Not because they are impossible though, but because they are all competing for attention at the same time. And your brain doesn't know what to prioritize first. So instead of choosing wrongly, it chooses nothing. You delay things, you avoid things, you distract yourself, and then later you judge yourself for it. But internally, what's really happening is this: your brain is trying to manage too many open loops at once. Work, home, money, responsibilities, personal goals, unfinished tasks, future worries, you name it. Everything feels active in your mind at the same time. And when everything feels urgent, nothing feels clear. Part 3. Let's discuss why it looks like laziness. From the outside, this looks like inactivity. So people, including yourself, label it as laziness because laziness is the easiest explanation. It's simple, but it's not always accurate. What people don't see is the internal load. You can be sitting still and mentally running through 10 scenarios at once. You can be physically resting, but mentally exhausted. And when your mind is in that state, even small actions feel heavier than they normally would. So you postpone them, not because you don't care, but because your system is overloaded. And over time, that creates frustration because you want to act, but you don't feel able to. Part 4. Let's discuss the self-blame cycle. This is where most people make things worse. Instead of recognizing overwhelm, they blame themselves. They say things like, I'm lazy, I have no discipline, I never follow through. And guess what? Those thoughts don't help you to move forward at all. They add pressure on top of pressure. So now you are not just overwhelmed, you are also disappointed in yourself. And that combination makes it even harder to act because your mind associates tasks with stress, guilt, and frustration. So you avoid them even more. Not because you are incapable, but because your mind is trying to escape pressure. Part 5, let's discuss the solution. What actually helps? What helped me was realizing I didn't need to push myself harder. I needed to simplify what I was expecting from myself. Instead of trying to do everything at once, I started focusing on one thing. Just one. One task, one decision, one small step. Because clarity is what creates moment. Not pressure, not self-criticism, just clarity. Guess what? Clarity only comes when things are small enough for your brain to handle. Persist the shift. When you start operating this way, something slowly changes. You stop freezing when things feel overwhelming. You stop labeling yourself as lazy and you start seeing a more accurate truth. You weren't stuck because you didn't care. You were stuck because everything felt too heavy at once. And once you reduce the weight, movement becomes possible again. Not perfect, not fast, but consistent. So, if you have been calling yourself lazy lately, pause before you accept that label. Because there's good chance that it's not laziness at all. It might just be overwhelmed that hasn't really been understood yet. And understanding that difference can change how you treat yourself completely. I will see you in my next video. Do have a good one. Bye-bye.